Welcome to Draves Archery, dravesarchery.com. I don't know if anybody out there really knows this yet or not, but Horton is no longer in business. And it's going to be really hard to find parts and pieces for Horton Crossbows coming up. I do have a little bit of stuff, and I can get you some strings and cables, stuff like that. But I had a gentleman the other day brought me in this Brotherhood. I just had a gentleman call me a minute ago and talk to me about a zombie. As far as I can see, the zombie and the Brotherhood are about the same crossbow. It looks to me that the back part here and the stock part of one here is the same. What this gentleman wanted is he wanted a crank device that goes on top of this crossbow. Well, I don't have a crank device that fits this Horton crossbow, and it's going to be really hard to find them. But what I do have though is a Parker Sidewinder, and this Parker Sidewinder is a crossbow cranking device. I'm not totally sure if this price is right. I've got it for $140. They may have went up a couple of dollars. I've got a couple older ones sitting here. To replace them may cost somewhere around 150 or 160 bucks. But at the end of the day, the Horton Sidewinder cranking device is what we're going to use. Now, the way this cranking device works, guys, is it slides over the butt of the stock. The problem is it doesn't actually fit. So, what do we do to make the cranking device fit? Well, I'll show you exactly what I did. It's really simple. Anybody with any kind of motor skills at all should be able to do this. I'm going to release this guy. I'm going to back this off. So, here is the cranking device. So what I've done to make all this work is, if you look here close, you can see some little scratches and a little bit of grind mark. What happened is this device would not fit on the end of here. This was too long. So what I did is just a piece of plastic. I took a grinder and I ground it off. You can take some sandpaper and grind it off depending on how smooth it is you want it to look, but it really doesn't matter. To me it appears, and I'm not sure exactly what other all Horton crossbows this will work on, but Parker Sidewinder crank. They're a little bit less expensive. I believe they're one of the nicer cranks on the industry market. They're really easy to use, but you just take the bottom part here and you grind off a little bit with some sandpaper or grinding wheel or whatever you may want. You can actually take off the screws. 2 screws come off the back. That way you can take it to a little bit of a grinding wheel until it fits the back part. Now, how does this cranking device work? Well, it works really simple, guys. Like I said, Parker Sidewinder cranking device. It is right or left-handed. So what we're going to do is we're going to set the cranking device on the back part of the stock. Make sure now to see how it fits on here nice and easy. We're going to run the ropes up both sides. We're going to hook on one side, hook on the other side, and we're going to grab the loop out of the middle. Hopefully you guys can see all this. You grab the loop out of the middle, you bring it back here to the center where it's got the little groove for the rope. Now, you're going to take your cranking device. I'll move this box just a little bit so I can square myself up here. You can get a better view. I'm off the table just a little bit. You're going to take your cranking device, make sure the rope comes off exactly equal on both sides. Whoops. Okay, you're going to take your cranking device, make sure the rope comes off exactly in the middle on each side. It's going to sit, like I said, right here in the middle of this groove. So now everything sits in the middle of the groove. Here's your crank. And you're going to go ahead and you're going to just crank this crossbow back. It's really simple. The way this cranking device, it can't come out of the pocket. Okay, now, when you get it all the way cranked back, there's a little lever here underneath your thumb, and you can loosen, hold that back. Now I can decrank it. Another beauty of this cranking device is after you've got it back, and it's going to be kind of big and cumbersome in your pocket, it does come with one extra of these little screws. But you take the little screw and you spin it a little bit, which loosens this guy up, and your handle comes right off. So now, if you're left-handed, you can mount it over here on the left side. If you're right-handed, you mount it over here on the right side. Doesn't matter which way it is you put it in there. Well, it might. It shouldn't, but you just slide it in, give your little screw a little bit of a crank, and you crank this guy up. So from what I can see, and I haven't went through the whole catalog, but I know for a fact the Horton Brotherhood and it appears to be that the Horton Zombie are both built off of the same platform. It's got the same barrel, the same stock system. So a Parker Sidewinder crank will work on these with just a little bit of care. And you can purchase this right here through us at dravesarchery.com. So if you got any questions about this, feel free to give me a call. I'll answer all your questions and try pointing you in the right direction. That way we can still keep, for those of you out there who have a Parker or a Horton Crossbow, keep you out there in parts and pieces. If you can't cock your bow anymore and you need a cranking device, we can put you in a nice cranking device that's not going to be found by Horton anymore. So let's put you in a Parker cranking device. They're a great crossbow company. They're all solid, made in America stuff. So get a hold of us here at dravesarchery.com. We appreciate your business. Thank you.